as it relates to Brogdon and Smart and Derrick White, well, now you have Payton Pritchard, who, it took him forever to get out of Ime's doghouse last year to actually, you know, rejoin the rotation, which obviously as a rookie, he was largely part of under Brad Stevens. Many of us were, banging our heads against a wall, wondering why he wasn't playing. Finally gets an opportunity. For the most part, I think took advantage of it. He, was pretty good in the playoffs when he had a chance in those first couple rounds in particular. What becomes of him now if this is the point guard depth in front of him? And I know it's foolhardy to presume health. Things happen, they always do. But I can't. You brought up Max Strus before, and very different situations. But in this sense, I can't help but look at Payton Pritchard and think about Max Strus in the sense that, this guy could be a better NBA player than he's going to get the chance to be in Boston. Strus found himself a great fit, obviously, with the Heat. Is Pritchard better off just finding a better fit, when that opportunity is presented?
I don't know because like he's gotten the opportunity, and that's the thing is it's hard being a rookie coming into an already developed team. Like Aaron
Right.
Nesmith, I expect him to get better in Indiana, and I expect people to be pissed off if he turns into a decent player. But he's going to get the opportunity there that he
Yeah.
wasn't going to get in Boston.
Right.
It's like it wasn't a situation that was conducive for him developing, especially because he admitted he basically has like the yips with shooting, and he's not able to come out and play and get enough shots in order to actually do the shooting he needs to improve. So like that's why Neesmith probably will benefit from being in Indiana. Peyton Pritchard would probably benefit from being somewhere where they were allowing him to just make all the mistakes he's making and force him to develop, but he's not able to do that in Boston. Um, I think what's good for him is that he was not ready to run point in the finals, and he had to do it some. He doesn't really have to do that with the way that the roster is set up, so he can play the two for the most part offensively, and he's a good shooter. And if he's attacking space, he's going to be a lot better than playing pick and roll and attacking drop coverage and trying to find a little bit of space when they like kind of close in on him and he feels trapped and all that kind of stuff. So I think Pritchard's in the right spot. He's going to get some time because of all the guys they have in the guard rotation, he's the only one that when he's on is a knockdown shooter. Brogdon at times has been a knockdown shooter. I think health was the biggest factor for him shooting poorly last year. And then 3 years ago or whatever in Indiana, I think that Brogdon will be a good shooter if he's fully healthy. But like they're going to need Peyton shooting, absolutely, because I like Sam Hauser's potential to eventually turn into a rotation player someday down the road, but
Mm.
he's absolutely not there yet. Like he's not, and he's shooting terribly in summer league right now too. Pritchard is the if they're going to have a floor spacer out there, it's going to be Pritchard, it's going to be Gallo.
Well, let's go full circle with this show and
Yeah,
wrap up
please.
going back to summer league here because we were talking about Gelly before. You brought up Hauser. Some of these guys, JD Davison is coming off obviously his best game in the four in summer league so far. Looks, uh, you know, by summer league standards, looks terrific. He's averaging 12 and 9, whatever it is. He's shooting 46% from three. Juan Begaron, if I'm saying that even remotely close with the French little accent on there, is he's looking really good. I don't know, you could speak to this better if he's going back overseas. I know obviously Davison's going to be there in Maine, but I'm it looks like they've got some good youth, some 19-year-old kids obviously that they've got here in the pipeline, but how optimistic are you they could develop and turn to real NBA contributors here for the Celtics?
Davison, I like. When I went back and watched the film on him, I was like, oh, I see it. And I was surprised that someone hadn't taken a flyer on him earlier, just because he's someone that, if you're willing to live with the mistakes he makes, he brings so much to the table. And we've seen it in the summer league. He's basically the exact same player in summer league as he was on the tape that I watched of him from Alabama. I guess maybe the upside is that it's harder at the summer league as players are better, even if teams aren't as good. So if he's still performing at that same level, then it's probably a little bit of improvement there. But he has so much to work on if he wants to run point. Like if he wants to play on ball in the NBA, he's just not close yet. But he makes pretty decent reads. He also jumps in the air and tries to find someone. Somehow does. Like he had this one pass to, I forget who it was, one of the shooters at the top of the arc, where he like was driving towards the hoop, got in the air, looked to the corner, didn't have anyone, looked to the elbow, didn't have anyone, and just kind of like blindly threw it like over his shoulder and somehow hit the guy on the numbers. I was like, how the hell did he do that? Like that's insane that he hung in the air that long. That was like a John Morant level kind of pass. Um, And so he's just like, Ime's not going to play somebody doing that kind of crazy reckless stuff in the NBA yet. But like with 2 years of development, I could see him being at the spot where Payton Pritchard is now, where or not quite like Pritchard was playing in the finals, but like I could see him being in the spot where he's getting a little bit of time. So sometime next year that could happen. I just wouldn't expect him to play at all this year. He might come in and blowouts and stuff like that, but that's pretty much it. But they should keep him around. I like his talent. He's interesting. He really is. He is fun, and he brings something unique that this team doesn't have a lot of. But with his speed, athleticism, he's able to get into spots with a level of explosiveness that most guys aren't able to do. And then he can do a lot of the ball hawking, rebounding, stuff like that Celtics love out of their point guards. So I find him really interesting, and he's in contention to get promoted to the roster spot. We could see that happening because from what I've seen of Broderick Thomas, I'm not seeing enough right now to make me think he's getting that spot.
Well, keep in mind too, with respect to Pritchard, yes, he's only been in the NBA a couple of years, but he's what, 5 years older than Davison?
Yeah, he's what,
So
23, 24.
yeah, so obviously personal maturity and growth and all of that, 4 years of college versus just the one. So it all adds up.